Hey everyone, welcome back to Mind, Body, Spirit, where we dive into real life stories and explore how to turn our mistakes into stepping stones for success. I'm Autumn.
And I'm Zube. Today we're talking about something we've all experienced at some point in our lives, making mistakes. Whether it's about our health, money, or even our relationships, we all mess up sometimes. But here's the kicker. Those mistakes don't have to hold us back. In fact, they can actually help us improve, grow, and become stronger.
Exactly. It's easy to look back and feel like we've failed or made the wrong choices. But today, we're flipping the script. We're exploring how each of these wrong decisions can actually be a blueprint for growth. So let's dive into how we can learn and thrive from the things that might have knocked us down in the past.
Let's kick things off with something that a lot of people struggle with, health. You know how we treat our bodies is something that doesn't always get the attention it deserves, and a lot of us make mistakes along the way. Whether it's eating unhealthy food, not exercising enough, or just not taking care of ourselves mentally, these mistakes can take a toll on us.
Oh, 100%. I think we've all been there. I know for me, I used to be terrible at taking care of myself. I'd skip workouts, eat junk food, and stay up way too late binge watching shows. But over time, I realized how it started affecting me, not just physically, but emotionally too. It was like a snowball effect. I felt drained, lacked energy, and honestly, it started showing in my confidence.
Same. I'd eat all this junk and wonder why I couldn't focus or feel good about myself. But here's the thing, I didn't let that define me. Eventually, I started making small changes, and that's the key. It wasn't about suddenly being perfect. It was about recognizing the mistake, learning from it, and then making a plan to improve.
Exactly. It's about consistency, not perfection. And let's be real. Those little mistakes can actually help you figure out what works for your body. I've learned that the hard way. Experimenting with different workouts, eating better, taking care of my mental health, all those mistakes just led me to a place where I'm stronger, both physically and emotionally.
Right, Autumn. Mistakes are like feedback from your body. And hey, as a bonus, when you're feeling better physically, your confidence skyrockets. You're stronger, you're healthier, and you're more likely to push through tough situations in other areas of your life.
Now let's talk finances. We've all made some bad decisions when it comes to money, whether it's overspending, getting into debt, or not saving when we should have.
Yeah, money is such a tricky thing, especially when you're younger. It's easy to think you've got it all figured out, but then you find out you've been making bad choices. I've definitely overspent on things that weren't really necessary, and I've had to learn how to budget and plan better. The hard part is realizing you made those mistakes, but once you do, it's like a wake-up call, right?
It's tough, but it's also a huge opportunity for growth. The first time I got a credit card, I maxed it out so fast, thinking it was all free money. That lesson hurt, really hurt. But it taught me the importance of budgeting and understanding the value of saving for the future. Now I'm much better at managing my money.
Same. Once you realize the impact of those financial decisions, you start getting smarter about how to make your money work for you. It's a game changer when you learn to plan ahead. But just like health, it's not about never making mistakes again. It's about learning from those mistakes and using that knowledge to build a stronger financial future.
Okay, now we're going to dive into something that's a little more personal, relationships. This is where it gets tough because emotional mistakes can sometimes feel more intense. We've all been in situations where we've trusted the wrong person or allowed ourselves to be controlled or manipulated.
Yep, that emotional roller coaster is real. I think a lot of people can relate to being in a relationship where you thought you were supported, only to find out later that you were being held back or even belittled. It's painful. I've been there.
I think a lot of people get into relationships where they lose themselves, right? Maybe they start listening to the wrong voices, like a partner who constantly puts them down or makes them feel like they're not enough. I've been there too. It's heartbreaking when someone you trust tries to make you feel small, even when you're just celebrating something big, like an achievement.
Exactly. And it's easy to ignore those red flags at first, thinking it's no big deal, but eventually you realize that you've been in a relationship that wasn't healthy for you. And here's where the real growth happens. When you get out of that toxic situation, you have to rebuild your emotional strength.
Yeah, and it's not easy. It takes time to heal. But what I've learned is that emotional strength doesn't come from avoiding mistakes. It comes from going through them, reflecting on what went wrong, and deciding not to let anyone's negativity define your worth.
And that's the key. Once you've learned from those mistakes, you're untouchable. Nobody can make you feel small again. You build a resilience that doesn't bend to other people's insecurities. You start recognizing your own value and protecting your peace. And honestly, that's the strongest version of yourself.
So, whether it's health, finances, or relationships, the mistakes we make can be some of our greatest teachers. The goal isn't to avoid them at all costs, but to learn how to use those mistakes to level up in life. And the beauty of it all? You're always evolving and improving.
Exactly. The more mistakes you make, the more you learn. And the more you learn, the stronger you get. It's a never-ending process of growth. And that's what keeps life interesting.
So, let's leave you with this. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Embrace them, learn from them, and keep pushing forward. Your best self is just on the other side of your struggles.
And remember, growth doesn't happen overnight. It's the little steps you take each day that lead to big changes. So, keep going, keep growing, and we'll be here to help you along the way.
That's all for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with someone who might need to hear this today. Until next time.
Take care, and remember, your mistakes don't define you, they refine you.